We've got a big road trip ahead of us, Sydney to the Gold Coast and back again. And we're going to be doing a lot more driving this year for our videos.
I figured it was time for a fresh set of tyres, especially with over 50,000 k already on the clock. The very next morning, fresh tyres fitted, we drove into Sydney and left the car in an underground hotel car park. What happened next could have ruined the trip before it even started. But instead, it proved just how well Tesla works in Australia. In this video, we'll also share what it's really been like owning a Tesla in Australia for the last 3 years, how much it costs to run, how it compares to petrol cars, what EV adoption looks like here and around the world, and why we absolutely love it. So with a fresh set of tyres and the car booked in for a service, more on that later, we drove into Sydney. And if you've been lately, you'll know Sydney is basically just one big building site. Cranes, scaffolding, roadworks, it's everywhere. They are upgrading roads, building new metro stations and light rail lines, and putting up huge towers. There's a lot going on. After weaving through the construction zone around the new Victoria Cross metro station, right across from our hotel, we parked our Tesla deep in an underground hotel car park in North Sydney. We headed up to the hotel, checked in and set off for a weekend of food, friends and fun. But we didn't think twice about the car. We used Sydney's excellent public transport all weekend, which is visibly being expanded everywhere you look. As always, Sydney delivered. We had an amazing time. We just never get bored of this beautiful city. But on Sunday morning, we checked out of the hotel and took the lift down to the car park and loaded up the car. As I prepared to drive off, there was a tyre pressure warning on the screen, showing that the back rear left tyre was completely flat. My first thought was that they were brand new tyres and perhaps it was just a faulty valve. I tried to pump the tyre up, hoping it was just a slow leak. Nope, not going anywhere. Unlike most Teslas, ours doesn't have a spare wheel, not even a space saver. There is also no temporary foam canister to fill the tyre, so you can at least limp to a garage. So here we are, stranded 7 levels down, 500 k from home in a hotel car park beneath North Sydney. But at that point, all we could do was put our trust in Tesla. With all their acclaimed first principles thinking, had they really thought this one through? So I opened the app on my iPhone and went to the Request Service tab. As we waited, it got us thinking. These charts show how EV adoption is racing ahead around the world. Norway leads by a mile thanks to strong incentives and early investment. China is climbing fast with huge local manufacturing. The UK and much of Europe are steadily rising. And Australia? We've now overtaken the US, but we're still behind the UK, which makes sense. EVs aren't ideal for every Australian situation. I wouldn't take one into the outback or tow a massive caravan with one. Within just 25 minutes, the technician arrived at the underground car park. He quickly confirmed we had a puncture and not just a slow leak. He showed us what had caused the puncture and laughed, "These things keep me in business." We'll show you what it is later and trust us, you'll be impressed. He quickly swapped out the damaged wheel with a Tesla loan wheel and handed us our original one to get repaired later. We signed for the loan wheel and were told we'd need to return it, but here's the clever part. Tesla uses mobile contractors to pick up these loan wheels, so the drop-off locations are actually very convenient. They're flexible and easy to fit around your plans, and in our case there was one right along our road trip route. More on that later. We were back on the road in no time. No towing, no searching for tyre shops, no drama and no cost. With only a minimal delay, we headed north, 500 kilometres up the coast. As ever, the car was smooth, quiet and confident. We stopped to charge at Heatherbrae, grabbed a coffee at the service station and stretched our legs. We've never had range anxiety with this car, and a big reason for that is the Tesla supercharger network. It's always expanding and now stretches across Australia, even in some surprisingly remote spots. It is a uniquely Tesla initiative, and it's one of the biggest reasons Tesla ownership feels so effortless on long drives. What's also interesting is that they've recently opened up the network to non-Tesla EVs too, at a cost. So in a way, Tesla has quietly entered the EV charging business beyond its own cars. And these are other reasons we just love our Tesla. Autopilot handled the long drive beautifully, more refined than ever. Doggy mode lets us take Mary and Harris on road trips with us, and we can even keep an eye on them through the onboard camera. And probably one of the best but underappreciated reasons is the over-the-air software updates. Our car has genuinely improved over the last 3 years. This isn't just fancy sounding verbiage. We've noticed real, tangible improvements in how it drives on autopilot. It feels more natural, more capable, and more confident. We could even upgrade to full self-driving because our car is already compatible. But honestly, the updated parking assist visuals have turned me into a parking god. But later that week, I took the previously brand new, but now badly punctured tyre to see if it could be saved. Thankfully it could. They were able to patch the tyre, which was a huge relief given how expensive these tyres are. You can't just fit any tyre to a Tesla. They're specially rated to handle regenerative braking, which means the sidewalls are reinforced to transmit torque back through the motor. They also include a layer of sound deadening foam to reduce road noise. So yes, they're more expensive than standard tyres, but they also save you money on brake wear because regenerative braking takes care of most of the slowing down. Sounds too good to be true? I'll show you later. To carry out the repair, the foam had to be carefully cut away first. Then the hole was slightly reamed out, the patch area was cleaned, and a heavy-duty patch was pulled through and bonded from the inside. More adhesive was applied, the foam was replaced, and the pull-through tag on the patch was cut away. Perfect. The Tesla lone wheel was then removed and our newly repaired tyre was fitted back onto the car. We popped the lone wheel into the boot, ready to return it later. The total cost of the repair and the whole episode was just $65. And the cause of the whole thing? This aggressive looking pro-grade self-tapping screw, the kind typically used on construction sites to secure boarding and framework. It's exactly the sort of thing you don't want to find in your tyre, but apparently it's a very common problem in fast developing cities like Sydney. 50,000 kilometres, I decided to book it in for a service just for peace of mind. Tesla had already run a remote diagnostic check hundreds of kilometres away and told us, your car looks fine. But they advised a physical inspection and recommended replacing the cabin air filters just to be sure. We do a lot of driving and honestly I was beginning to wonder if the idea that Teslas don't need much servicing was just a bit of a fanciful myth. I'm an engineer, I know things wear out. But again, this car had more surprises for me. The team at a Tesla approved repair shop even let me video the entire process. The brake fluid level and composition was just perfect, not a drop lost. They replaced the cabin pollen filters, which I've never had in any other car before. The brake pads, absolutely pristine. Even the discs look brand new. Everything under the car was spotless and well protected. The power unit looked clean and shiny, not covered in oil or dirt as you'd expect to find on most cars. That's thanks to the aerodynamic underbody panels that also help reduce drag. They plugged in the diagnostic unit and no issues at all. After checking the wheel torque and giving everything a once over, it was all done in about an hour. And yes, it confirmed what we'd heard, but never fully believed until now. Teslas really don't need much servicing. A few days later, we returned the lone wheel to a Tesla contractor we had arranged to meet at a service centre off the motorway, 500 kilometres from where we got it. So the whole process worked. So how much has it cost to run the car over 50,000 kilometres? These show the charging, servicing, tyres and any other costs, which are about $5,000. If we compare that to Bonnie's Mitsubishi ASX, which we bought about the same time, we reckon we've saved $2,000 to $3,000. What's impressed us more than anything over these past 3 years isn't just how well the car drives, it's how Tesla has completely changed the way we think about owning a car. Yes, it's electric, yes, it's efficient, but it's more than that. Features like Autopilot, the incredibly low servicing needs, the seamless Tesla app, and even the way roadside assistance is handled, these aren't just EV features, they're part of a completely different mindset about what a car can be. Tesla hasn't just built an EV, they've disrupted the entire automotive industry. When you buy a Tesla, you're not just buying a car, you're tapping into a global, self-learning neural network that's constantly improving. Every trip, every stop, every lane change, it's learning from millions of Teslas worldwide. Your car is getting smarter, more capable, and more refined while it's sitting in your driveway. And after 50,000 kilometers and 3 years of ownership, we can honestly say we wouldn't go back. With our Tesla given a clean bill of health and that puncture all sorted, we're ready for some epic road trips up the coast. Next stop, the Gold Coast and beyond. If you're enjoying the journey with us, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Lewis and Bonnie's Australia.